Hi, this is Melissa from the Sweetery, and I am going to show you guys how to make something totally fun and totally yummy for Halloween. Now, you guys have all heard about bark. Of course, everyone knows about bark, but everyone thinks of peppermint bark for the holidays, but they don't think about Halloween bark and how much fun you could actually have at home by making your own Halloween bark. And it is so simple. I'm gonna go ahead and teach you guys how to do this today. So the first thing you need is you need a really good quality chocolate. So I really like to use the Nestle Toll House chocolate. It's really high in cocoa fat, which is basically what you want when you're dealing with a chocolate product. Please do not use candy melts, folks. Candy melts are horrible to make any kind of chocolate treat. It has a very waxy finish, and when you bite into it, it really doesn't have that great of flavor or texture. So the better quality chocolate that you can use, the best product that you're going to have. Now you can also go ahead and get yourself, and you can get these pretty much at any big box store, your grocery store. I know that Michael's and I think Hobby Lobby also carries little cute stuff like this. Like I found these absolutely adorable little eyeballs is what they are. They're just candy, probably made out of like a royal icing or like a sugar candy with the little dots on top. They look like little eyeballs. They're super cute. The other one that I personally love that I'm also going to be using today is a mixture of Nerds and some different hard candies that I've taken and I've chopped up. I've beaten them to hell and I have put them in a nice little bowl so that way I can just sprinkle them right over top. Now another thing that actually I think looks super ghoulish and kind of gross, if you really didn't know what it is toasted coconut. It is so cool though. It does have a little shimmer and sparkle because of the amount of sugar content that's in it, and it is so easy to make. All you have to do is just buy shredded sweetened coconut. You spread it on a cookie sheet lined with, of course, my favorite parchment paper, and you just put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 5 minutes. It's gonna start to toast and crisp up, so you have all these lovely toasty pieces, but in a bark, they kind of look like maggots or worms or something icky, but of course, truly delicious, and especially if you want to go ahead and you want to serve this to your family or give out little treat bags for the Halloween holiday. Now, some of the other stuff that you can actually buy, which is great, is you can buy all kinds of crystallized, colorful sugar. You can buy all kinds of fun little drallies, like the different colors, obviously, of the holiday. Or you can find these big multi-chambered jars, I guess as you want to call them, or containers that have all different kinds of colors. I actually grabbed this one at Walmart. It was a steal, couple of bucks. And you get all of these beautiful different colors, and of course, all of the Halloween colors are in here. I've got purple, I have got green, and I have got orange, and red. So I'm actually gonna be putting a bunch of different colors in this bark. Now the bark that I'm going to be doing today is going to be made out of white chocolate, just so that way you can see the colors a little better. And I have got this great little rubber bowl that I love to heat up my chocolate in the microwave in. I do this in succession in 15-second increments. Guys, you can also do this over a water bath, however it is that you want to do it. If you have a double boiler, you can totally do that as well. But just make sure that if you are using a double boiler, that you do not have any kind of moisture that touches the chocolate at all, because it will seize and clump up and turn into these tiny little balls of mess. Although it might taste good, it's not really what we're going for. So you want a nice, smooth, rich chocolate consistency, just like that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start to make our bark. And again, the first thing you're gonna do is you're going to melt down, of course, your chocolate. You wanna make sure it's nice and smooth. There's no clumps in it, so your end product can come out gorgeous and beautiful and silky. And then you definitely wanna get yourself a nice, tin board a tin baking sheet, and then cover it with parchment paper. You can also use a cutting board. If you really didn't want to use this on a baking sheet, you could actually use just a wood cutting board, but of course, line anything you use with parchment, just so that way you actually have the ability to remove the chocolate from the surface that you're going to use, obviously. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and evenly pour this wonderfully smooth chocolate. Now, it doesn't matter if it gets like a little kind of clumped up on your sheet as you pour it out, because you're going to use a spatula to be able to go ahead and to smooth it out. If you have an offset spatula, even better. Mine is a little dirty from the last demonstration that I did. Didn't have time to clean it, I'll be honest. But that's okay, because what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use this little flat one that I've got here. Now I've moved all of my chocolate onto my surface. And if you notice, just in very smooth movements, I'm going left to right. You can also leave it just like this, where you create this lovely little pattern. Now, how thick you want the bark is totally up to you guys, quite honestly. I mean, it doesn't have to be super thick, but you don't want it super thin either. You want to make sure that you try to coat the parchment as evenly as possible. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. Someone will just get a thinner piece of bark. No harm. You'll still get the yummy stuff. All right, and it looks like we're done here. Okay, so I'm actually going to tap it down a little bit, just so that way we can get a little bit of a smoother surface. There we go. And when you do that, if you notice, the ridges kind of start to dive down into the chocolate itself. All right, and now it's time to have fun with it. Now you can go ahead and start to add all of these fun little things. So I am going to add in just a sprinkle of the Drallies in some of these monster colors, is what I like to call them. Blue, black, white, green, and purple. And those are just gonna be sporadic. Notice I'm not covering it completely. You can do that if you want to. Totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna add some of these bigger sprinkles, like the little round dot sprinkles in purple. Let's get them all on there. I'm also gonna do a green, because of course we want it to look very Halloween-y. Perfect. I'm gonna add a little bit of gold. And you know, I am a huge proponent of sparkles. I love my gold and my silver accents. Gold is very much kind of like that, gonna cut that orangey tone to it. So that's cool. All right, now it's time to go ahead and to spread all of my maggots. Yeah, that toasted coconut. Total yum. Just gonna get everything on there because I love toasted coconut. There we go. I'm gonna grab my hard candies mixed with Nerds. Now I'm gonna put these sparingly on here because, you know, hard candy can chip a tooth depending on how strong your teeth are. But I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put them all over just to kind of give it some real colorful feel. And now it's time for my eyeballs. Now I'm actually gonna strategically place these on just to make sure that when it cuts up, I at least have one eyeball on each of the pieces of bark. Now you can just go ahead and toss them in there, but I want these to land eyeball side up and not facing down, because then it's just gonna look like a little round white piece of chocolate. And you can decide wherever you wanna put this. It's your project, right? Who said that? Who used to say that? Oh, Bob Ross, it's your world. Yeah, that's it. It's your project. We don't have any accidents. We have, what is it? We don't make mistakes. We have tiny, happy accidents. I love it. Now, something else that I also did is I have this black, it is literally black chocolate. Now, this stuff is the candy coating stuff. Now, if you want to use this as kind of like a drizzle to put over it, like I'm going to do with this, just to kind of add another element or another level of fun to this, you can totally do that. They sell all different kinds of colored bark. I had this one sitting in some warm water just to kind of to keep it from getting hard. So I've put it into a piping bag to make it easier to pipe out, and there it goes. It's starting to come out. So all I'm gonna do is I am just going to drizzle all of this fun black colored chocolate all over my bark. Oh my God, that looks so cute. All right, so check it out, everybody. There is my fun bark. Now this is a great project, guys, to do with the kids too. If you guys have kids, I have got children, and when they were little, they used to love to make all this type of stuff with me. It was just so much fun for us to go ahead and to do stuff together. I'm gonna add some more gold on there just because I like it even more blingy. There we go. And I think we're pretty much done. Now the only thing you have left to do is just let this sit. Do not put this inside the refrigerator, because in the fridge, remember, you got a lot of color in here, guys, and the chocolate is a little warm. So if you take it out of the refrigerator, you're gonna have condensation start to set in, and then you're gonna have a big, soppy, colorful mess. Although, I mean, honestly, it'll still taste pretty good, but you don't want all that soppy mess, especially if you want to go for more of a uniform look. So the only thing that you need to do at this point is just take this, set this out on a table, and let it to dry in normal room temperature, as long as it's not too hot inside your home. I like to keep my house at about 74. It does the trick. So I'm gonna put this aside, and then we're gonna come back as soon as it dries up, and we're gonna crackle this and make this into the best bark ever. And now, through the magic of TV, we're back. No, that's funny. Okay, so we are back, and we have got our completely dried up bark, and it actually only took about 10-15 minutes to firm up. I mean, it is firm. This is not going anywhere, which is fantastic. Now, what you do want to do is get yourself an offset spatula. This is what an offset spatula is, guys. So if you don't have one, go out and get yourself one. Again, all of your grocery stores in the aisle where they have all of the stuff for like cooking and all the bakeware and stuff, they have spatulas. I know for a fact Michael's and Hobby Lobby both have offset spatulas, and they also have really big icing spatulas, which are the ones that I use to ice all of my big, beautiful, artsy cakes that I make. So what you're gonna wanna do is, with an offset spatula, clean, dry, guys, dry. Remember what happens with water and chocolate. Even though it's set, it can still mess it up. So you're going to want to lift it, and honestly, you may not even need this, because look what's happening. It's already coming right off of the parchment, and there's my first little piece. Granted, not a very good piece of bark, not too much stuff on it. Oh no! That was one of those thinner pieces. It's good. Okay, so you can actually take one of these and you can run it underneath, just in case if you have some pieces that are still kind of stuck to the parchment on the bottom that are being a little bit less than sympathetic to you, forgiving. There we go. And now here's my trick. I like uniform pieces of bark, because then someone would not have a sad face that they got a crappy piece of bark, okay? So take a pizza cutter. If you do not have a pizza cutter, guys, the dollar store, Dollar Tree has these wonderful pizza cutters. They're from all kinds of, Betty Crocker, that's the one that I saw at a Betty Crocker pizza cutter. Well, this is from IKEA, but they have them at the dollar store. They have them at Walmart, Target, wherever you want to go, get yourself one. It's like a necessary kitchen utensil. And all you're gonna do is you're just going to cut right through the bark. Now, you're gonna wanna kind of give it like those traditional kind of jagged bark pieces, you know? Some of the hard candy might give you a little bit of hard time going through it. No pun intended. Haha, hard candy, hard time. And you're just gonna kind of continue to cut it all the way through. I'm just gonna go this way now. Avoid the eyes, because I can't cut through them, they're too hard. Oh my God, what a mess. There we go. All right, so there we have it, folks. We have our cut pieces of bark. They're way too cute. Look at that. You got some eyeballs in those. So these are fantastic and they're perfect for the Halloween holiday. And again, get your kids involved, folks. My kids are teenagers at this point and they still love to do this kind of stuff in the kitchen. So get them in there, get them helping you. It's gonna be so much nicer, especially when they give their friends at school treats, girlfriends, boyfriends. Yeah, they're coming at you guys, just so you know. So, you know, you get these wonderful, cute little gift bags of homemade treats. It makes it so much nicer than actually going to a store and buying ready-made products. All right, everybody, thank you so much again. This has been Melissa with the Sweetery in Miami, and I will see you guys later. Come back for the next video where I'm gonna be making some delicious, Weight Watchers friendly desserts. Yeah, folks, you heard it. Everybody's on a diet in this house, and we all have to have dessert, because that's what I do.
That's a wrap, folks, and thanks so much for watching today. Make sure that you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and make sure you turn on your little bell so that way you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.